there, and welcome to part 2 of the Malik Show Live. This is yours truly, Malik Shabazz Southern. I am so glad that you are merging into part 2 of the 2019 COGIC Unlimited. Results are in on tonight, but just before we go into part 2 and the final show on tonight, we have my special guest all the way from Roanoke, Virginia, the one and only Sir Jeff and Lady Ashley Hash. They are here. They are with us, and this is part 2 on tonight. Now, if you merged into part 1 with us, as you know, we have had an amazing Holy Convocation in St. Louis, Missouri. Great speakers, great fashion, great everything. But on tonight for part 2, we are finishing up on the fashion line, and then we are going to merge into the speakers and onto some other stuff that I will do on my own time. But while we are on, okay, so as our producer is already going ahead of us, let's continue on in COGIC Fashions. And once again, we want to give a special shout out to COGIC Fashions for their support and their help with tonight's show. Okay, so where we have our next fashion choice on tonight, Sir Anthony French Dupree, all the way from Newport News, Virginia. And I call him French, as what we all call him. French is dressed, well, really, he was dressed all week. But one picture that really caught my attention is he had a brown, let me see, he had a, I think the color of the suit is tannish brown. He had his fur coat on, and he had his Louis Vuitton bag. And he also had his man braid. So, I mean, he killed it. He was killed it. But I'm going to take it to my guest on tonight, Sir Jeff and Lady Ashley, to give their opinion on Sir French's attire for the meeting.
I love that brown suit. It was like more of like a what color would you call this? It's like a caramel chocolate. I mean, it was rich though. I mean, it was nice. I really like this double-breasted.
Frenchie did his good work.
I liked his tie combo. Yes. I mean, the bag was just a highlight to it, so I loved it.
You got French. I love it. French, you did a good job, babies.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to our next one on tonight. Okay. New York's own, the one and only Sir Bob King. And like I say, Bob is definitely one of designers and everything.
Misfits.
And he is dressed in a all pinstripe suit with some nice gray and black shoes. And
yeah, I love that.
You know, Jeff and Ashley, while I have you on, Bob did his thing during the meeting, but this right here is bad. It's real sharp. And he got that good razor cut haircut. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, I love that. I love this look. I really like those shoes he got on, those gray shoes, and it worked very well with the pinstripe. I even like the brown with the blue. He had like a brown suit with a blue vest. So bro was sharp all week.
You did your thing. Like, you stood out. And I appreciate the consideration for all of your shoe changes and your suit pairings. I like the way, like, even with your ties. So, hats off to you, Shad.
Ah, shucks now. Okay, we're moving on to our next one. Who do we have? Oh, come on here. Okay, so I hate that, you know, I know she was busy. We all know who she is. The one and only Kiara Sheard. And Kiara came through with that. Kiara is such, oh, God, Lord Jesus. Oh, she's so
all right, watch it.
Okay,
You
okay,
all right?
I'm going to be safe. Kiara's just sexy. I'm sorry. I just got to give it to her.
Listen.
But I like what she had on at Convocation. She was in a cheetah outfit and gold. I said, good God Almighty, Lord help me. But Jeff and Ashley, what do you have to say on, I believe Kiara was, I think that was the only picture that was posted of her during the meeting. But what do you have to say on her fashion choice for the Convocation?
We need an usher on aisle 3.
Yeah, he needed an usher. I thought the dress was very dope. I think it's from her collection.
Yes.
I liked the earring pairing with it. I mean,
she did a great job. Kiara did a great job. I like the whole look.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have no problem.
10s across the board. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Producer, who's next? Okay. The Prince, I have to call him, another Virginia's own, the one and only Sir Morgan Olds. And as you all know, just to put this out there, this suit that is pictured, Morgan has designed this himself. So if there's any fellas, including myself, that are looking for someone to tailor and fix your suits from scratch, and like something different and tasteful, Morgan Olds, I would suggest, is one of a kind. But this right here, he is on the red carpet in all black, well, black, gold, and white. And I really love this attire. So Jeff and Ashley, what do you have to say on Prince Morgan Olds from Virginia?
Which suit did you post?
The gold, black, and white.
The gold, yeah, the gold, black, and white.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Come on, Virginia.
Like he did that.
Morgan, yeah, he did a great job. And I appreciate that he pushed the envelope with his look, with the triple coloring. So it's not often that you see the lapels like that. That was a nice lapel. And he paired it well with the bow tie. I have nothing bad to say about it. You did a good job.
Yeah, those colors were crazy.
That triple coloring, you all right.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to our next one, producer. Who is next? Oh, yes. I love this young lady very well. One of my sisters, dear sisters, all the way from North Carolina. She's royalty. She's beauty. But this attire that she had on was very classic. Pink and blue, you can't go wrong with it. The one and only Lady Ashley Powell. Sir Jeff and Lady Ashley, what do we have to say on Queen Powell?
I mean, I don't even know which one was my favorite look. That black hairpiece she had on for official day was very it.
Avant-garde.
Yeah.
I'll give it to her. Her pink and blue,
that
pink
one
and
was
blue,
amazing.
I like it. And it was so playful. Very feminine. So I love it. And her headpiece for this one as well, it just frames her face so nicely.
Absolutely. 10s across the board.
Awesome. Well, who's next, producer, as we're rolling right along? Sister Courtney Landers, my sister. Oh, I just love my sister. But you know what? One outfit that I really loved of Courtney, she was in an all red hat by Mad Hatter, Joyce Richardson. I hope Jeff and Ashley can help me with the outfit, the suit, the dress that, that she was wearing.
Joshua Walker made that dress, and it was, I love that red was amazing. Like, I was kind of upset I didn't see it in person, because by the picture, it was just amazing, the whole look. But
she looks radiant.
Radiant. I even liked her official day look, so.
Yeah, Courtney does.
She's Courtney.
Yeah.
She's Courtney?
Yeah, you can do things.
Courtney. Okay, well, who's next? Who's next, producer? Who's next? All right. We have to give a shout out. I love this lady very well, but might I say she is a very unique dresser, and let me tell you, she is such a beautiful woman. She is the wife of the chairman of the General Assembly, the one and only Lady Marion Thurston. And right here, she is pictured in a Mad Hatter hat from Joyce Richardson, and she's in a black dress with flowers on it. But Lady Thurston is one of a kind dresser. She's very elegant. She won't go overboard with her appearance. But Jeff and Ashley, I'm sure you know of Lady Thurston, Chairman Lemuel Thurston's wife, but she is definitely a classy woman.
Yeah, I love the look. It was 10s across the board. A perfect hat, perfect dress. She's a beautiful lady. Like, A-okay.
I think she did an amazing job, and it's just this is the perfect fitting. I love the colors. The colors complement her skin tone beautifully. I love it. I'm here for it.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to our next. Okay, so pretty much that covers our fashions. Now I believe there is more. Producer, who's next? Who is next? Okay. We're moving to the top 3 family/couple top fashion choices at the Convocation. And kicking off the couple is the first picture, Sir G. Xavier Wiggins and Lady Dominique Moore. That was on missions night. I loved it. I take my hat off to it. So now we've merged to Jeff and Ashley on Xavier. I call him Zay. And Dominique, what did you think of their fashion choice together?
I felt like it was a Wakanda gala, and I would have loved to join.
Listen.
It was beautiful.
Like to me, that set the tone for missions night to
I
bring
think we
more
should
awareness,
do that more often.
more awareness to the night. Saying,
Absolutely.
okay, well, this is missions night, so this is what we're going to wear for missions, because missions is a great cause in church and helping others. But the fashion side of it, like their parents, and like he played it very well with her dress, like
Yes.
tens, like amazing.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to our next one on tonight. Atlanta's own. There's only one Atlanta's own, Sir Anthony Bullard and Grandma. I call her Grandma every time when I see her. But she's such a sweet lady. But this is the second picture that we have tonight. Anthony and Nana Bullard on the red carpet. Anthony's decked out in green and Nana's decked out in orange. And I just love it. So I'm going to let Jeff and Ashley have their remarks on.
So it is awesome to get to see Anthony when we do. We don't get a chance to see him or Nana often. So when we see her, it is so funny because she's just so sweet and so just
dressed.
Yes, and she gets this little right here. So it was a pleasure to be able to see them when we did in passing last week.
You talking about the orange with the rainbow hat?
Yeah, that hat.
Yeah, I love that. It was. I mean, I thought her dress, her pairing worked perfect with the hat because the rainbow hat is very bold
and versatile.
So that color palette, it worked very well together. I loved it.
This two-piece number she has on is everything.
Come on
Anthony,
here.
he always dresses with his suits and stuff. He's always top notch. So I enjoyed that. Green was very dope.
Awesome. Okay, producer, we're 15 minutes into our final, but we're going to go back to the logo, producer. Oh, let's go ahead and show that. Last but not least, I have to give a shout out to DC on my pastor and my first lady, my friends, Pastor Altavon and Lady Sharnita Clark on official day. Mad Hatter hooked them up from the headwear to the furs. And Jeff and Ash, I don't know if you know, I think you met them.
We have.
Okay.
We have. And I know your pastor, absolutely.
Come
We were
on
at the same
here.
restaurant.
Yes, we were at the same restaurant.
I think we were at Pappy's getting a barbecue.
Oh, shucks. But he told me to say, Malik, you got one dressing brother and sister because they got a chance to meet Pastor Clark. I said, well, fine almighty. Good golly,
we
Miss
saw him a
Dollar.
few times.
And he's not easy on the threads either.
Oh, he's always dressed up.
Yes, absolutely. They both are. They look nice.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, that completes our fashions on tonight. So, producer, let's move on to our next. That's the logo. Okay. I know Jeff and Ashley, they're going to sit while I say this, but I have to give thanks to some of these people. As you all know, that, as Ashley said, pictures with everybody. But you know what? I will say this. The pictures is a part of ministry for me. I love seeing and meeting people. And I just love it, though. And, it is what it is. But real quick, I want to give a shout out to, and I enjoy being in the presence of great people. But as these pictures go on, Lady Twinkie Clark, producer, you can just scroll. I don't want to hold up too much time. Lady Ruby Holland, Bishop Ron and Lady Gibson, Mama Betty Ransom Nelson, Lady Karen Clark Sheard, Jeff and Ashley Hash, Lady Sylvia Law, Bishop George Dallas McKinney, Pastor Pam Megan Hines, Mother Frances Kelly.
Absolutely.
Crystal Rucker, the one and only. Bishop Richard Mr. Clean White. LaShun Pace. Professor Iris Stevenson. our general, and let me just pause right here. Let me just pause right here. Um, I, yes, let me just pause and just say this while I'm on live, and Jeff and Ashley can interact. First of all, I'm praying for this lady. I know while we were at St. Louis and while I was walking to the bathroom, me and her had talked for about no more than 10 minutes. But luckily, we graced each other, after her husband had passed. And, my grandmother had passed. So, we definitely have communicated after. We both, can understand. But this picture right here really was just so graceful, so emotional. I felt the presence of the Lord. And and as I said to her as I was leaving, I love you, Mother, and I'm praying for you. And I love you to Malik, and I'm praying for you too. I want to pause and give a shout out to our General Supervisor, our National Mother, Mother Barbara McCoo Lewis. This woman, I will say, is such a woman of grace, such a woman of God. No cut cars with her. This lady, I will say, has opened doors for me personally as a designer. I will say that I had times where I didn't know where I was going in the national church as far as my business. But Mother Lewis was the one who opened those national doors for me to first ladies, to bishops' wives. And I just want to say, Mother Lewis, that I'm still praying for you. I love you. I thank you for your support. You could have went to anybody else, but you chose a little old boy out of D.C., Maryland, that's still trying to come up in this world and find his place. But, we got to I just had to say that about her. Love you, Mother Lewis. God bless you.
And her daughter. Her granddaughter.
And Shannon Lewis, yes. Shannon was clean.
Yes, she was.
Listen. Shannon had on a beautiful outfit on Thursday night with some green shoes, and that, y'all can go back and look at it, but Shannon was, that right there just threw me on the floor. I said, come on here. But I will say Shannon
My favorite was the burgundy, but that was my favorite.
Yeah, well, she was clean all week. But one thing I will say about Shannon, she is another young lady in this church that don't need no hat, don't need no fascinator. Just put the clothes and the shoes together. Hey, let's have church. I don't need all that stuff.
That's it.
Okay. So now we have gotten through the fashions. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. We're 10 minutes into our final show. Now I would like to play some video clips that have blessed our souls. The speakers were amazing. I will give my hands off to the speakers, but there was one speaker in particular that really just threw me, and I'm going to say the hashes too, I'm sure they did with them, but this person threw me off my feet. That was Friday night with Pastor John Hanna, producer. If we could just play just a clip. It's the second clip, producer. Follow my instructions. It's the second clip. Yes. He is viewing it right now.
I came to get the oil. I came to stir the oil up again. I came to stir the oil up again. I came to stir the oil up again. It's going to get on your children. It's going to get on your grandchildren. The same God that did it for me is going to do it for your children. I come against everybody that's recruiting your children, and I decree and I declare you will raise up a generation. Okay. Am I free? I'm okay with time. Tell me if I'm okay. Let me know if I'm okay. Am I okay? Okay, listen. I need y'all to do me one favor. Please obey me. Please obey me. I'm only doing what the Lord told me to do. I need you to get in groups of threes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, they going in.
Your turn.
They on the floor. Put me in groups of
Your
1 and 2
turn.
and 3. After that, we go.
Glory. The way.
Okay. So due to time, We are going to talk about just one. If you all want to look at some of COGIC's services, speakers and stuff, go to youtube.com. They're there. But one in particular video that had to be posted on tonight, that had to be talked about, and people are still talking about this night. And Jeff and Ashley, yes, the Malik Show, we love fashion, we love to talk about it, but the speakers are also important. We also,
Absolutely.
we want to get some word out, because I don't want people just to think, oh, they're there for a fashion show. No, we go to church, we shout, we get what we need, deliverance, healing, all of that. But merging to Jeff and Ashley, I want to talk about Friday night. I think was the most electrifying night of all the nights. Pastor John Hanna from Chicago, Illinois, came to us with such a graceful message. Do you got the oil? And y'all will have to go to YouTube and see it for yourself. But Jeff and Ashley, in these last 6 minutes, what do you all have to say on that night with Pastor John Hanna?
It was a night that actually seeded inside of me. I know it has already started producing fruit.
Absolutely.
But I know it'll continue producing fruit because it took roots so deep. I replayed the clip and made sure I wrote down exactly what my number represented because I didn't want to let it go.
I mean, I already knew he was going to bring it because we watch him on the regular. We normally get up on every other Tuesday and pray when they pray at the church. We catch the live streams on Sundays outside of our local services. So I was already in high anticipation of what God was going to do. But when he actually finished, my mind was blown. Like the word, and he didn't talk all this extra stuff. He talked Bible. He kept saying, "Let's talk Bible," and he broke that message down like no other. When it came time for those circles of prayer, I mean, it was like mayhem, and it was to a point where it was certain times during the prayer I would just close my eyes and just listening to the people travail. I mean, it was just like, God, thank you for allowing me to experience this moment. Like it was mind blowing.
Awesome. Well, I must say, Pastor Hanna was definitely, and like I say, all three of us can vouch. He did an excellent job, and I would say one of the best speakers of this year for the 112th. So I enjoyed him and everything. So awesome. Well, since we got that out the way, we're 5 minutes into our final show, but let Malik and the camera have a little one-on-one. I'm going to let the hashes just sit and listen. Now, we have went through the fashions. We have went through the speaker of the hour. But I believe this year was drama-free. And, it was drama-free. I could put some stuff out there, but I'm going to behave on tonight. I'm not going to do too much.
You did it on your time.
Yeah, because I'm going to get, let's say Jive's not with me on tonight. Good God Almighty. But like I say, I believe we had a drama-free convocation on the real, ladies and gentlemen.
It was amazing.
We didn't have no issues or no problems. Even the one person from Atlanta who was on the quiet, we didn't hear. Well, I wish. Never mind. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to Andrew Caldwell. And I think it was Friday. Friday night, I had the honor to sit next to. I wish we could have took a picture and stuff, but he was in the spirit. So, but Andrew, I want to give a shout out to you. I enjoyed, fellowshipping and talking with you. And people, let me just say this, get to know one another. We sit and judge and talk about, but Andrew is such a open-minded, funny young man. And we sat together during service and complimented one another. And I enjoyed fellowshipping and everything. So shout out to Andrew Caldwell on tonight. And may God continue to bless and further your life as he will for mine. All right. Well, we're 3 minutes. Okay, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Now, before we close on tonight, Jeff and Ashley, I just want to thank you all for being on the Malik Show on tonight. I appreciate it. But here is my next question on tonight before we go off the air. Now, Jeff and Ashley, I would say, do you guys consider maybe doing anything in the future? I always ask my guests this, but 10 years from now, I know you guys are young and you're living life and everything, but 10 years from now, where do both of you all see yourselves? And also, do you guys see you guys opening up a business or opening up a boutique or something that can inspire people to come into the fashion and all that?
Absolutely. I do see us being able to diversify our gifts at some point, and it'll be able to be have some monetary backing behind it. But however, we also enjoy just using our fashion as a ministry. Because we do that with our fashion and our marriage. So that's not the first thing on our agenda. We just want to make sure that everything that we do reflect God, His love. And so I don't mind growing old, being exactly where I am per se, as long as we're still reflecting God, His love, and His light. As long as we're doing that, I'm okay with it.
And ministry-wise, I mean, 10 years from now, I would like to see us flourish in our marriage ministry to where we can have like a marriage retreat outside of church, where we can go to like an all-inclusive island with couples from all over the world, and to have a great balance between church and living life and enjoy and have team building and relationship building activities. So I think that would be a great avenue for us to
keep your eyes peeled, because we will be planning on that.
Yeah.
Come on here.
It's in the works.
Well, my brother and sister, Jeff and Ashley, I thank you all for being my guests on tonight. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it on tonight. Before we go off live, I want to say this on the Malik Show Live. I wish I had a picture posted and everything, but, I believe, I want to thank everyone, Facebook land, phone calls, messages. As you all know, this convocation for me was good. I enjoyed it, but sadly on Wednesday night at 8:58 p.m. Eastern Time, God had called my grandmother home. And might I say, I personally was dealing with mixed emotions during this year. I thought, I was going to go down there. Producer, I know we're on time, but I'm going to get this out there, But might I just say, I want to thank everybody who have reached out to me, and I'm publicly saying this. I want to thank everyone for condolences. God has restored me. I'm still grieving and still going through stuff behind the scenes, but God is good. I bless and I will continue to praise His name, but yet, I'm still uplifting the blood-stained banner. So I just want to say tonight's Malik Show Live is dedicated to Miss Sandy Sullivan, 1946 through 2019. Grandma, I love you. I thank you for all that you instilled in me, and I am looking forward to moving on. The new year in 2020, we're doing bigger and better things. My brother and sister, Jeff and Ashley, I love you all. I thank you all for saying yes, and I enjoyed this time with y'all, and I'll be in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
This is yours truly, Malik Shabazz Sullivan. Until next time, God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you in December.